Hey, what's up everybody? This is Zach with US Fitness Products, and today we're going to be assembling the Octane XR6. So this is a recumbent elliptical. The things you will need to assemble this are a full set of Allen keys and a Phillips head screwdriver. I believe that'll be it. So our first step is to install our center mast here. So just for full transparency, I already have the footholds that you will later install on this machine attached. They are attached by 4 silver dome head screws that are Allen key attachments, as well as your console. There is a pretty well detailed diagram on how to install your console. If you do need any additional help or additional videos, we can record one at a later date. So our first step is to install this center mast. It's fairly easy. You'll notice on the base of the machine here, there are 2 guide bolts, and then we have a slotted bracket down at the bottom of this machine. I just want you to be mindful of where those cables are, and then we can go ahead and slide this in place just like this. Once you have that in place, go ahead and grab your 2 bottom bolts. I would suggest maybe grabbing your bottom bolts first so you have them in hand. Otherwise, sometimes this won't stay in place. And then we'll go ahead and start these with our fingers just like this. And once you have those in place, go ahead and connect your pieces here. This is just your heart rate and your main communication cable. Now that you have those in place, grab your drill and corresponding drill bit, or you can do this by hand, whichever one you prefer. I'm going to use an impact today, and we'll go ahead and drive these all the way down, locking them into place. All right, so next thing we're going to install is the plastic for the front here. And this is fairly easy. You'll notice there's this tab right here that is going to slide right into this hole. So you may need to get it at a somewhat severe angle to get it in place properly, but it just looks kind of like this. Here we go. Now that we have that in place, before I tighten it, I'm going to go ahead and put my rubber on, and that just goes like that. I always put the seam towards the inside of the machine. I believe that is the way it's supposed to go, as in that is the only way it will go. But once we have that in place, we may need to move the plastic around slightly to catch our screw hole here. We'll go ahead and tighten it down. After we get that attached, we can move on to our next step. So our next step is to attach our seat back. So this is what our seat back looks like right here. And we are looking for 4 silver head dome screws, just like this. You'll notice that these do have offset head here so that they will sit inside of the frame. Just make note of that. Then we go ahead and connect our, this is going to be our heart rate monitors. We'll get these connected. Just be mindful of where they are. I'll usually keep this tie on it, just so if we ever need to do any moving or disassemble this machine again, we can still use this tie to make sure your cables don't go anywhere. And we can go ahead and just attach these. These are, I believe, 3 and 4 pin. They are unique from one another, so you shouldn't have to figure anything out. They'll only go into the outlets that they are designed to go into. When you receive this, you'll have a little piece of foam here you can see. I just push it up into the frame. It actually provides cushion so that the frame isn't banging into itself. Then we will go ahead and guide these wires down into place, just like this. There we go, making sure we're not pinching them or cutting them by any means. And then just carefully, we'll start this with our fingers, just like that. There we go. Get both sides in. All right, now that you have it in the front, we can go ahead and move over to the back here. We got 2 more in the back. They just go in the same way. Nice and careful, making sure we're not cross-threading. Once we got them all in place, we can go ahead and grab our drill. This is a large Allen key. You can do this with your hand tool if you need to, but I use drill. Just tighten it down. Now that we have that in place, we're going to attach our cup holders. And these are going to be Phillips head screws. So the cup holder just lays on the frame just like that. What I'll usually do is I'll start my front screw just so I can hold it in place. All right, once we got that in, you're gonna need to get under the machine so you can see the angle that these drive. So I'll just get under here like this. And they kind of angle away from the machine. So we're just following that angle to make sure that we don't cross thread. And I'm gonna start fairly slow with my drill. Just making sure there's no added resistance. And this back one, I'll start with my fingers, just because the angle for your drill may be a little too severe to start it. Once I got that in with my fingers, I can go ahead and take my drill and drive it the rest of the way down. Now that I got those in place, I'll tighten my front one. There we go, we got our cup holder installed. Now we do the same thing on the other side. So our next step is to install our arms. This is an instance where having an extra set of hands might help. These arms can be a little heavy if you're not used to them, and kind of awkward and top heavy. So all we're gonna do is line our arms up with the holes that are provided here, and I'm gonna start them with my fingers. Here we go. I'm gonna do a cross pattern on this just so I can get it out of my hands faster. So if I do my top left and then my bottom right, just like this. There we go. I don't have to hold it anymore. So I just need to line it up to get my next bolt in. Just like that. Do yourself a favor when you're trying to line your bolts up properly, try and get the metal plate of the arm as flush with the mounting area as possible. That'll prevent you from getting any weird angles and possibly cross-threading your bolt. My left hand is not a friend. There we go. All right, once we got all these bolts in place, we can go ahead and drive them all the way down. There we go. Once we have those in place, we will take our cover here. You'll notice there's two tabs on the top of this cover, right here and here. Go ahead and pull these out. Give yourself a little bit of space and go ahead and slide it in place just like that. And then those tabs will lock onto the arm. Now you have your arm covered. Now that we have this arm in, we'll do the same thing on the other side. All right, so our next step here is to install our feet. Once you have your arms in place, we're gonna go ahead and put our feet on. First thing you're gonna wanna do is grab your wavy washers. They look like this. You'll have two of them, and they will go on the lower part of the machine where the feet will attach, just like that. And then all you gotta do is just grab your foot here, and we will just slide it into place. This should come lubricated, so it should be a pretty easy slide. Slide that right on. And usually, as usual, I would use my fingers. Unfortunately, the depth of this shaft makes it a little difficult for you to get your fingers in there. So I'm gonna take my extension and just use it like a screwdriver. And we're gonna do this with our hands just to make sure there's no cross threading, no added resistance. And once we get it in place, we can grab our drill, drive it all the way down. And then you will have a cap cover here. Just go ahead and pop that into place. Now, once we have that in place like that, we can go ahead and attach the top. So the top will attach just like this. I want you to be aware of something. You'll see down here on the bottom that the bottom part of this leg is sitting at about 7 o'clock. So that is the lower end of this. If you go over to the other side, you'll see it's sitting at about, what is that, 11? So there will be an offset the way these arms sit. When it's lower on this side, this arm will face downward. On this side, it's going to be up a little bit. You got to make sure you have that offset or the machine will not work properly. So now that we have that out of the way, we'll go ahead and get this started just like that. Once that's in place, let's see here, there we go. There we go. All right, once you got that started, go ahead and grab your drill and we can drive it all the way in. Now we just have to do our other side. And like I said, this is gonna be an offset. We'll grab this and put it in place like that. And like I said, the arm for this one will come up. See how one side's up, one side's down? That is how that needs to go. We will grab our extension with our drill bit on it. Start this with our fingers, just like that. Go ahead and grab your drill, drive it all the way in. Once you get this all the way driven, you can throw your end cap on, just like this. And then we will grab our next bolt up here. And we can go ahead and line that up, get that started with our fingers. and drive this all the way in. There we go. So at this point, this is where you would usually install your footholds here. I already have that installed, as well as your console. There is a good diagram for installing your console. Just be careful of your wires. The only thing left after these two items are installed is to put your foot caps on. They literally just go over the top and attach with Velcro. So just like, you take it just like this, pop it in place. There you go, those are your foot covers. Set it down. Now there are leveler feet on the back here. If you do have any kind of issues with uneven flooring, you're going to want to adjust your levelers to make sure you don't have any rocking sensations back and forth. After you do that, you should have a fully functional Octane XR6 Recumbent Elliptical. If you made it to this point in the video, please subscribe for further updates. Otherwise, if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to reach out to us on our website or give us a call. We're happy to help.